What was once used as a way to dehumanize, embarrass, and make black people feel less than, slowly evolved into a term of endearment and camaraderie within the black community. Now, the N-word in hip-hop is used so much it's almost synonymous with rap. Aside from rap, mainstream media and television have also used the word at a more frequent basis than the past. The use of the word has gotten backlash from older, more conservative music listeners. Russell Simmons described this by saying, "When we say nigga, now it's very positive. Now all white kids who buy into hip-hop culture call each other the N-word because they have no history with the word other than something positive." Richard Pryor was someone who used the word freely, and his use of the word set him apart from every other comedian at the time. However, Pryor soon realized that he might have been using the word as a crutch and then decided to stop using it altogether. This is why Richard Pryor stopped saying the N-word. It's typical for a new comedian to adopt the persona of one of their favorites before they fully develop their own voice. That's what happened to Richard Pryor in the early 60s. At the time, Bill Cosby was making a name for himself in the comedy game. Pryor's early success in the industry came as a Cosby imitator. In his early career, Pryor didn't curse in his stand-up comedy at all. He also talked about more safe subjects like family life and work. He was seen regularly on Ed Sullivan, Merv Griffin, and The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. This Cosby blueprint was working for Pryor at the time. As the state of the world continued to change, race relations in America were getting no better. In the fall of 1967, Pryor took to the stage in front of a sold-out crowd at the Aladdin Hotel in Las Vegas and said, "What the F am I doing here?" and walked off stage. Frustrated with performing material he didn't believe in anymore, along with the changing landscape of America, Pryor knew he needed a change in his life. In an interview with the Los Angeles Times some years later, Pryor reflected on the event. "I was doing material that was not funny to me. I saw how it was going to end up. I was false. I was turning into plastic. The life I was living, it wasn't me. I was a robot." It wasn't long before Pryor took his career-altering trip to Berkeley, California, where he immersed himself in black culture, met Huey P. Newton, and spent some time with the Black Panthers. Pryor divulged himself in the teaching of Malcolm X, all of which contributed to the Richard Pryor who would reach new heights of fame in the mid-1970s. One night in Berkeley, Pryor would step on stage. "Hello, my name is Richard Pryor. I am a nigger. A nigger." According to the book Furious Cool Richard Pryor and the World That Made Him, he said it again, again, and again. Just that one word, over and over. It gave him strength, he said. It robbed the word of its wretchedness and made him feel free. Pryor claimed, "Saying it changed me, yes it did. It gave me strength, let me rise above." What we both like about the word is that it demonstrates a simple truth. White people cannot say it in front of black people without declaring themselves to be racist. We are saying something that white people can't. It's forbidden to them, but allowed to us. Ain't too many things like that. It's liberating. Paul Mooney. Inspired by the black poets, he surrounded himself with the integrated audiences that would attend his shows, and once again, the Black Panthers' influence on being authentically and unapologetically black is what pushed Richard Pryor to new heights. Audiences gravitated towards Pryor's language because it was relatable and a reflection of how people, especially black people, talked. Pryor was loved by the black community for being one of the few comedians at the time that had the courage to tell white people exactly how he felt about them on stage. Throughout the 70s, Richard Pryor became increasingly popular. Pryor didn't fully break through until his third stand-up album called That Nigger's Crazy in 1974. In 1976, he released Bicentennial Nigger. Both won the Grammy Award for Best Comedy Album in their respective years. Not everyone was welcoming to the new and improved Richard Pryor. Several publications and critics bashed Pryor and accused him of self-hatred for using the word. Jabari Azam, author of The N-Word, Who Can Say It, Who Shouldn't, and Why, claimed that Pryor developed a new style that was raw and obscene. But to the black middle class, Pryor was as embarrassing as he was funny. It didn't help that many white publications universally applauded Pryor's use of the word. When Pryor says it, it means something different. Time magazine. According to a 1980 article in Ebony magazine, Pryor first decided to go to Africa after being convinced by his therapist, who kept a lot of African art around his office. In the article, Pryor stated he experienced a revelation at the airport in Africa. just seeing everybody with their luggage. Pryor said it was here where he realized that people were the same everywhere. Pryor then told the story of a possible small event that eventually led to his epiphany in Africa. As a child in Peoria, Illinois, Pryor was often called the N-word. And children all over America go home every day and say, "Mama, they call me a nigger," and we can't answer. It's terrible. It's devastating. It's a devastating thing for black psyche. And black parents should go to school just for their child. Just scream and yell, "There was no nigger in my family." I mean, they should do that just for that child, so he will know, so he won't accept it. Pryor adopted the word into his regular vocabulary and originally used it as a tactic and weapon. But after visiting Africa, he said he soon realized that he was lying to himself for years.
And the voice said, "Do you see any niggas?" I said, "No." And I said, "You know why? Because there aren't any." "Yeah, I've been here 3 weeks. I haven't even said it. I haven't even thought it." And it made me say, "Oh my God, I've been wrong." I said, "I ain't gonna never call another black man a nigger."
Pryor was asked about what he would say to those who criticized him for using the word on stage, on his albums, and got rich doing it. Pryor responded, "I say to them, allow me to grow. Nobody can stay the same unless he's Plastic Man. Just watch and see where my growth takes me." The controversy of the word nigga and its effects is something that has been a long-standing debate in the black community. Some will see no harm with the word's presence in mainstream media and entertainment. Some think that only blacks should be able to say the word, while others think the word should not be used by anyone. Pryor eventually came to his own realization about the word, but it is noteworthy that in 1982, Pryor released another album that contained the word. It was called Super Nigger. Pryor's refusal to use the word and the discipline it takes to follow through is something that should be admired. After an eye-opening experience in Africa, getting back to his roots, Pryor realized that a large part of his life is growth and evolution. Pryor has evolved and developed throughout his career, and his visit to Kenya was just another chapter added that contributed to the complexity of Richard Pryor.
Do you know the comedy culture? Play Comedy Hype, the game. Out now.